Hello, can anyone hear me? Not yet, because we're not. It says start. Oh, please don't play up. Ree, come on out of the way.
Live.
Am I live now? Okay, well, it says starting, so I don't know. Ree, come on out of the way. Okay, so obviously I am live. Am I live now? Okay, well, it says starting. Hopefully you're all well, you're all good. So I'm just checking in with you, making sure everything's all right. And first of all, that you had a fantastic Halloween. If you were out celebrating, hope you had fun and all that. What have we been up to? Well, we've been on a lot of adventures and a lot of places. That's with myself and with Sally. And I would just like to say that I am meeting a lady tomorrow, all being well, as she wants to now be part of the group, and not only be a part of the group, but become an investigator herself as well. So hopefully there will be myself, Sally, and this other lady. Her name's Cassie. So hopefully I'm going to meet her tomorrow, and we're going to do a bit of a dummy run investigation so she can get used to the apps and everything. She knows what she's on about, so she won't need a lot to be taught or helped. So that's really good. So I've got my own little boo crew. We're building up together. So that's 3 investigators now. And I can't wait for that to happen. Sally, obviously, we've done a few investigations together. She's still amazing. She's doing really well. If you saw my video last night at a church in
North
Tinkincott, which is North Rutland, near to Rutland Water. I really enjoyed that. Well, Richard just said it's more near Peterborough, but again, it was a fantastic investigation I did. Got some really nice spiritual communication, and those spirits at the church were benevolent. So you've got 2 kind of spirits that you can come into contact with. You've got your malevolent, which they are the ones that. Oh, hang on. Hi, Paul. Hi, Joe. Hope you're well. Hope you're all okay. Like I was saying, you've got your benevolent, you've got your malevolent. Your benevolent spirits are the ones that will help you and guide you and give you credit. I'm on the phone because I can't see any notifications coming up. So any comments, type them on the phone. Yeah, Ree can type. Ree's typing today.
What do you want me to
just put hello, everyone? So like I was saying, with benevolent and malevolent are the spirits that will cause problems and cause trouble and do your what we know is most hauntings. But your benevolent spirits, they're spirits that are like.
Tracy says hi.
Hi, Tracy. Hi, lovely. Hope you're all well. Hope you're good. Thank you for joining me.
Should I just read the comments then?
Yeah, just read the comments, right?
Hello guys, how are you all? Anyway.
Yes, to get in on it. So yeah, your benevolent spirits are the spirits that are kind spirits. They will help you, they will guide you, they will, they will be really nice to you and, comfortable with you. So they're 2 spirits that I've now come across. I've come across benevolent as well as the malevolent spirits. So one thing's, not only did I want to catch up with you today, but obviously Halloween has just gone, but I want to give you a bit of a brief into the true meaning of Halloween and actually how it became Halloween and how it became such a traditional kind of, you could say, ritual that every year.
Paul
Now-
Caswell's doing a Christmas Day morning will be with us.
Perfect. Look forward to seeing that. Thank you so much. So yeah, like I was saying with Halloween, most people probably think that it was the Americans that was started it, but it wasn't. It was the Celtics and the Druids that were over here. They were the ones that started it all off, and it was originally known as Samhain, which is basically light into death, vice versa. And it was it was actually the end of summer and the death of light. Now, people, when we associate with Halloween now, people, you know, dress up, they wear makeup, they wear costumes, everything. But years ago, when the Druids and the Celtics were around, people used to burn fires, and then with the ash used to paint their faces with the ash and wear cloaks and robes, because this was all as they were trying to communicate with their loved ones. They didn't want any harm coming to them, so they would blend in, if you want to call it that. So like the living would walk amongst the dead, and the dead amongst the living, and everything. And as also as well that they used to put candles. I know we have pumpkins now, and the Americans brought the pumpkins over, but I'll go back to that in a minute. People used to put candles in their windows, so if any of deceased loved ones or any spirits came through, they had candles to guide them of where they've got to go. And this ties in with the bonfires that we have now. It's not just celebrating Guy Fawkes. Halloween is celebrated over actual 3 days. That's the 30th, which is All Hallows Eve. You've got the 31st, which is All Souls Day, and then you've got the 1st, which is All Saints Day. So that all ties in with that. It was way back then, in that back of time. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed last night's investigation, Tracy. That was really pleased of you. I'm glad you liked that. Hopefully I will continue to do more videos like that, because I really do appreciate all the feedback, all the comments. You know, if you've got any opinions or you've got any, not criticism, because I'll take criticism, you know, if you say something, oh, that isn't right, can you try and do this? You know, I will always take all your comments, all your opinions on board. I'm not one of these that will be really selfish and say, oh, you know, I'm not listening to you. If you think there's a better way of me perhaps communicating or doing something more, then please do let me know, because I always like your feedback, I always like the comments, and it just really makes me so determined to get it right. So anyway, like I say, the Romans and all the kings and the foremans of the Druids and the Celts, even the Vikings, because the Vikings celebrated it, because they would burn huge bonfires and they would see the spirits and the souls of their ancestors through the smoke and everything. So this is one reason why we celebrate Guy Fawkes Night, not just because he tried to blow the Houses of Parliament up, but it's also a tradition of Halloween. So All Hallows Eve was basically the day before the dead could walk amongst the living. Now, we associate the spirits with today that they can walk amongst the living anyway, because everybody knows spirits are around. It's just whether or not you are open-minded or you are more susceptible to sense things. And over time, as I've got doing more investigations and doing more research and doing more being open-minded, I now can sense things. I can sense when spirits are around. I don't specifically know what kind of spirits they are. I just know that they're around and they're there. What started out as a tradition in the good old days of the Druids and the Celtics soon became a tradition of being aware and superstitious of demons, of evil, of everything nasty. And then obviously people found it out, and it was then to be called by Romans Halloween. Now, going back to when I say pumpkins, most of us all know Halloween is associated with pumpkins. But years going back to Victorian times and way back before then, the people would carve turnips, or what we'd know as Swedes, not the country Swedes, but the vegetable Swedes. And they would carve faces of grimace faces and things, just to ward off evil spirits. And not only were they carried around, but they were also given to the dead as an offering for peace and love and prayers and everything. And soul cakes, they had things we associate now with like Halloween, like trick-or-treating, you're giving out sweets, you're giving out candy, whatever. But years and years and years ago, the Victorian ladies and people of that kind of era used to make soul cakes. Now these were bread with spices in them, so it's a bit like your cinnamon buns and like your hot cross buns. But these soul cakes, these ladies would make them and basically offer them to anyone who come to the door because they were soul cakes. And there is actually a saying for it, is soul cake for a soul cake, pray good mistress for a soul cake, one for Peter, two for Paul, and one for the one that saved us all. And in return, people who would be given soul cakes, they would take a bite out of them and then they would offer them with prayers to the dead, encouraging them to be nice to them. So I've got the notes here with it. Celts used to see spirits in smoke. This is where, again, your bonfires come from. They used to believe, the Celtic used to believe that through prayers and offering, ancestors would rise up from the fire and they could see them in the smoke as spirits and everything. But in the 11th century, you know, people kept the day as a time to remember the dearly departed and the souls that were no longer with us. So obviously people went door to door, so this is where you're trick-or-treating. In the olden days, they'd go door to door offering soul cakes in return for prayers for the loved ones. And in Welsh, it's Nos Calan Gaeaf, which represents remembering the dead of coming over from the dark into the light. So the Welsh celebrate it. They don't say Halloween, it's Nos Calan Gaeaf. And throughout, as the Romans came into Christianity and they brought Christianity over, churches knew that the superstitious and all these traditional like rituals or, you know, gatherings to celebrate the Day of the Dead, and like with what Mexico do, they celebrate the Day of the Dead, don't they? But this is the time when superstition and tradition that the dead could walk amongst the living for one night only to make their presence known. So like I said, you know, that's sort of like kind of it. Another tradition that the Victorians used to do is they used to hang pieces of rowan tree from the front door, because rowan is apparently a deterrent to negative spirits. They don't like it. So you would hang some rowan branches, hoping that none of the spirits would come into your home and cause heartache, distress, and everything. And it just got to the point where it was just called Halloween. You know, the church and the Christians in it was, let me just find it about the popes, because I know there were some popes that dealt with it. Here it is. It says here, well, it's in my notes, that Pope Gregory III declared the 31st October as All Saints' Day, and Pope Gregory IV extended this across the Christendom faith. The eve was All Hallow Eve was on the 30th, and then All Saints' Day was, All Souls' Day, sorry, was on the 31st, hence Halloween. Churches were very, very against this. They thought it was all to do with demons and everything like that, and they wouldn't worship. So sometimes if I've gone to investigations, I've gone to churches and the churches have been open and like the reverends or the vicars have been there, and we start chatting, and then I tell them about it, and some of them are like, no, we don't want you doing this, you know, we don't have things like that here. You know, can you not do it? And sometimes I will say, okay, no problem. But then obviously when they go, I go back and I do my investigations. But the Catholics were very, very welcoming when I say I'm doing a paranormal investigation. I'm doing this, I'm investigating that, you know. And the Catholics always seem to be very welcoming to me doing that kind of thing. And I think that is because obviously the Catholics do believe, and the Roman Catholics do believe in all this spiritualism, as they want to call it. So yeah, so really that is the story behind Halloween. And just over the years it's just got so commercialized, but that's that. So if I've missed any out, I've got so many notes to go through. I am so busy at the moment, it is just unreal. Obviously I don't know whether you've seen my spooky book. Look, my spooky book. So if I've got any places, and there's a few places I've got in here, you know, I've got a priory in Dudley, I've got an orphanage to do in Leicester, I've got a colliery to do in Staffordshire, I've got a really old, another old Victorian and Edwardian cemetery to do, I've got one in Wrensbury, one in Chipping Campden. You know, I'm going all over the place now, so that's really, really good. And as this group's going, people are more reaching out to me now saying, look, hey, can you help me? Can you do this? Can you do that? I will do it. I've got no problem with doing it. Hi, Maud, darling. Hi, you lovely. Hope you're all well. Oh, so lovely to have you with me. And like with everybody who's joining me on this live, I cannot thank you enough for doing so. It makes me happy. And it obviously proves to you that it's still interesting. I'm not boring you with my videos. And if any circumstances that you think these lives or my investigations crap or rubbish, or you know, please do tell me, because like I say, I take anything on board. I'm not one to go off in a huffy puffy and kick off and everything. I really do appreciate that. So that is that. So yeah, so that was Halloween. What are you doing?
That's what I said. Keep the lid on it.
Oh, it's all right. Rianne's trying to do her own nails. You won't get the nail polish off. It's UV. I've done your UV nails. Sorry about that, but this is the kind of weekend I have. I have a kid that just likes to run riot and cause mischief and trouble. But anyway, breathe. So that's all about, like I say, with Halloween and how it all come about. Now, I did an investigation the other day, and that will be going up in 2 weeks' time. And that investigation I did, I actually have to admit that it has got to be one of the most compelling evidence investigations that I have ever done, that I've come across. This investigation, I had the Reverend of the church, and he was very, very intelligent, and he communicated really, really well. And you'll see it in, like I say, a couple of weeks' time. There is a light, and I actually debunked the light, and I proved to you guys that when you watch it, you know, there's no, what originally we thought was a sensor, because as you go through the church, the light comes on. So as I was talking and doing my investigations and I was talking about it, the light kept coming on, and I thought, right, I'm going to debunk this and see what happens. So I do take you around the back to show you the lights and everything. And the light was here and the switches were right over the other side. So there was no way, and there was no sensors, oh, excuse me, there was no sensors or anything to trigger that light off. So I did ask a question. I did say, is the Reverend, I think his name was John, and he was there from 1913 to 1940 something, maybe even earlier. I don't know. It seems ages ago since I did it. And every time I asked a question, this light would come on. It would either flash twice or it would flash once. So that's, to me, that's one of the most compelling investigations and evidence I have caught in a long while. It's right, we're having Amazon deliveries here, there, and everywhere.
Keep lids on.
Yeah, because that gel polish cost a lot of money. I'm really sorry about this, guys, but she's kicking off. For those who don't know about my daughter, she's autistic and ADHD, and she's always constantly fiddling with stuff, and she can be quite annoying sometimes. So yeah, going back to these investigations, I'm getting so much better in myself because I'm watching. Maud says, "Hope you're well, Richard."
Yes, I'm very well, thank you.
Yeah, he's good. So that's that. So all in all, we're doing really well. My own little boo crew is building. Obviously, I'm so looking forward to meeting Cassie tomorrow and hopefully going out with her tomorrow, doing a bit of a dummy investigation. We've spoke via messages and calls and everything, and she's happy to be on film and she's happy to do these. So I might start doing more camera work now, so I will still be there, but obviously probably between Sally and Cassie, and myself, we can go off to, especially the cemetery I did the other day, which is I went back to that Gilroy's Gilroy's Cemetery and Crematorium, and I did a video on that. And that is an absolute massive place. So that would be an ideal place
72
for
acres.
us three to go off, me to do one area, Sally to do the other, and Cassie to do the other, and then all meet up at the end of it. I took Sally there that day. I think we didn't get much communication, but we did get some. But because there was a lot of funerals going on, it kept coming through. I'm sad. I'm crying. Leave me alone. I'm lost. I'm lonely. And once I did the investigation and I came back home and I sat in the house and I was going through everything. And then I thought to myself, do spirits see funerals? Do they see that other people are crossing over? And do they feel sad? What kind of feelings do spirits have? Yes, you can get your angry ones, you can get your naughty ones, your nasty ones. They're not actually nasty. It's just that they are probably confused. They are probably in a world, because we don't know what the spirit realm is like. I'd love to just go there and come back and say, hey, I've been there, it's brilliant. But we won't know any of this until our number is called. And some people have said to me, do you believe? Really, really, do you believe? Well, yes, I do, because spirits, this has all gone back. All of these spiritual stuff with your seances before Ouija boards came out, everything. It was all the Victorians. And sometimes we probably blame the Victorians, but other times we should be praising them as investigators, because they're the ones that started all of this out. I'd love to do a seance with people, sit round a table, hands like touching each other, forget the Ouija boards, forget all of that, but just do it the old fashioned way and just see if I could channel spirits that way, because I think that'd be really good. Now, I have been watching on Prime a couple of films that are based on true stories. Now, you have probably heard, if not, go and Google it, Borley Rectory. Now, that was a true story. There was a nun and a priest. The priest got his wicked way with the nun. Obviously, then they had a baby, but the priest got rid of the nun, and the priest got rid of the baby that belonged to the nun, and then he killed the nun and everything like that. So the first film was The Haunting of Borley Rectory, and it's set back in 1893 and all of this, which was really, really good. And I started to watch it and it was brilliant. And then they've brought the second one out now, is Borley Rectory, The Awakening. And you get to go back a few years to how it all started. Now, I have done research on Borley Rectory and it is still standing, but it is in complete ruins because it was damaged by fire, and it hasn't been touched since. And there has been reports of people seeing priests and nuns and people of the faith roaming around the grounds, a nun crying. You know, there's been so many stories about it, and hopefully I would like to go there at Borley Rectory and just see what it's all about. So that's that. So I'm really, I'm really pleased at what we've got going on. I don't do cold tea.
Doesn't Sally drink cold tea?
But anyway, that's that. So we've got a lot of investigations coming up. Obviously, it's weather as well, because as we all know, with this beautiful British weather, it's my favorite time of the year. I love autumn, all the crunchy leaves and all the colors and everything. But sometimes it can be a bit cold to go out, and that's when we get interference with cameras, and the tablet doesn't always work, and it doesn't always fire up. And so if we can go somewhere where it's lighter. I think someone's coming to the door, Richard. I think someone's coming to the door.
I don't live here anymore.
You don't live here. No, we don't live here. We're just like,
We're home wreckers.
yeah, because the ring doorbell's gone off. Another Amazon packaging.
It's unbelievable how you get like these massive stuff. No, these little stuff.
Another Amazon. So
Shares, isn't it?
it's all go. Yeah, we have got shares in Amazon. That's right. It's probably Christmas presents and other bits and bobs, but I've done all my Christmas shopping now. There's only a few little bits to do, but it's all wrapped up, all sorted. No.
Fix for your music box.
Oh yeah, that's a point. Can you pass me the music box up just so I can briefly show people? Now, obviously, if you've been watching some of these paranormal investigations, they have what they call a PMB, which is a paranormal music box. And this is mine. I don't know if you can see there, but Richard has very kindly making me a paranormal music box. Now, you can get these
Turn it on.
off. There's no batteries. It's not wired up or anything just yet.
Okay.
You get these from these paranormal websites and these paranormal shops, and they're about 60-70 quid. But they are so simple to make. As long as you know how to do the wiring and the soldering, you can have your own music box. And all it is one, like from the jewelry box, the little pins here, and they go on those, like, I don't know if you can hear it, but that sort of thing. So, and it's got a sensor there, so if anything should break the beam, it will play like what you get in a jewelry box, when you wind it up and it plays the music. So for those who haven't seen that, that is my music box, and it's got down there PMB, Paranormal Music Box. Obviously, you've probably seen this on my last live, but this is my REM pod, which is absolutely perfect. I will put it on and give you a demo. So obviously when I'm out and about, if you have it, I will have the aerial up, but obviously if a spirit goes near it, it will light up, and if it touches it, it will light up there. So that's my REM pod. Shut up. I'm going to switch you off now. There we go. So that's that. And then we have the music box. This is a big version of music box.
Digital type.
And if I switch it on, and hopefully you should hear it. No, because I've got to switch it on actually on the... Let me put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. Sounds creepy, doesn't it? So yeah, that's the music box. That's the big version, and that will be ideal for when I'm in churches or places that are allegedly haunted. So that is all. And they, like I say, they are so super easy to make and are cheaper as well. So yeah, that's all going good. The group's going good. You know, thank you for all those who have joined the YouTube channel. Where's my little sticker? Because I now have had stickers made, and I will show you. So if you'd like to, you can scan the QR code and that will take you straight to the YouTube channel. Thank you, Richard. Obviously, this is my little sticker I've had made. Let me get it out the bag. And I will be handing those out to anybody who wants them. But if you could see that. Let me get it out of focus, turn it upside down. Yeah, we'll go for the one that's got the ghosty on. There we go. So if you've got a QR reader or a QR code,
Keep it still.
you know, you can... I've got to get it into focus. It's not going into focus. But you've got a little QR code there that you can scan. There is a link on the Facebook Ghost Hunting page with this QR code. So if anybody's interested or any of your friends are interested, you know, just scan the QR code or get them to or if I see you out and about and you want to join, you know, I will have these with me and I'm quite happy to give you them and you can scan it and join the YouTube channel. Obviously, I'm still looking into doing podcasts. I know this is probably a bit of a podcast now, what I'm doing, but I want to do it where I can actually have people eventually, hopefully. I'm going to try and get a, I don't know how you would call it.
You can do
A bit of a podcast where you can actually call, like a bit like a radio, you know, when you phone in and everything. You know, hopefully I want to try and do that now. So I'm still looking into that. And that's just absolutely mind-boggling. It is so confusing. It's just so much to deal with.
Spotify has podcasts you can do.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I only have Spotify for music. I'm listening to music. That's all. So yeah, so that's really good. So yeah, so today's live was just to talk about the proper meaning behind Halloween and to say that, you know, we've got a lot of places and the videos we've got coming up, you know, like I say, please comment on them. You know, if you like them, give them a like, subscribe to the channel. And if any of you want to know more or if there's any place, if you want to meet up or something, I'm still trying to sort out a meet and greet where I will be at somewhere where you can come along, have a chat, have a cup of tea, look at the equipment, go through the equipment. You know, that would be really nice. So I'm still looking into that. But yeah, it is now coming up to 3:05. So I want to close this. Thank you so much again for all who's joined me in on my live. I'm going to read some of the comments. Just bear with me. All the comments, top comments. You know, hope your group's going well, Paul, and I hope to see, can't wait to see more investigations. That'd be brilliant. Thank you for commenting. So yeah, I'm going to have to go through some of these comments, but if I haven't mentioned you, obviously hi to Tracy, to Maud, to Paul, to Joe, you know, and anybody else who's joined in, then I will obviously, you know, I just want to say hello. Thank you for joining me. You know, please continue to do so to support me, because I really do feel if it wasn't for you guys out there and it wasn't for my subscribers and for my Facebook friends who have joined the group, you know, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I know Sally is appreciative as well. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, what can I say? So I will love you and leave you all to enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. If you've had fireworks and bonfire night, I hope you had a good one. I hope you had a lot of fun, and you know, hopefully there was no injuries and everyone was safe and well. So we'll leave it there then, guys. I don't know when I'm going to be able to check in with you again, because obviously I've got so much to do. I'm still doing message readings. People are still asking me for that, and obviously going out with the new member of the group. So I'm still around, and you know, if you do drop me a DM or you comment, I will get back to you. But at the moment, I'm just so super busy. So please bear with me, and we'll go on from there. So, like I say, once again, thank you for watching. Please enjoy the rest of your afternoon. And all that's left for me to say is stay safe, happy hunting, and I will catch in with you all again very soon. You take care now. Love to you all. By saying those three. Love to you all, and I will all speak with you in again very soon. All right, guys. Thank you. Bye. Where's the end live? Okay. It's not ending. I'm still live. There's no end button. There is no... Sorry, guys. This is what happens when I do my lives. This is the behind the scenes stuff. It is not working.
Holy crap, I'm choking.
Now Richard's joining in.
Holy crap, I'm choking. Jesus.
Yes, Ray, we don't need...